Hey Kerbal Space fans, this is Raw with part 3 of my Interplanetary series here. So, we're gonna take this thing to Minmus. Where is Minmus? This is right there. Where's our inclination match? Well, it's too far away. Usually when I go to Minmus, I just, well, I set the intercept where the planes match, and then it'll put the intercept thing here, and then I'll just hit plus to wait more orbits and bring it in. But this time's too far. I'd have to orbit around like 70 times for Minmus to get all the way there. It moves too slow. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna set an intercept course about where I think it is, and do an inclination change on the way. So this is a lot of eyeballing. I'm gonna guess it's around there somewhere. It's where I'm gonna run into it. So let's see. You gone, Moon? Okay. So maybe a little bit more. I'm thinking it's more of an eighth of a turn. Like there. Go right over it. And a little bit further. I'm going to make a second node here. And bring it down. Let's see what happens. It's a little behind it, apparently. Let's delete that. I need to be moving that over a little bit more. Okay. Now let's try an inclination change. Let's do it over here, just past the moon. Wow, I had no idea it was that far behind it. So I'd be there and it'd be all the way past there. So it's going to be going around a lot further than I thought. Let's try to get ahead of it. It almost looks like I should just wait for the inclination match. Let's do it there. Now I'm ahead of it, huh? There, that was not too difficult. Okay. So we got 2 burns coming up. The first burn is in 16 minutes. And we can surely time accelerate to that. I'm really not trusting this 5-minute thing. You never know. These burns do get very long with just one single atomic rocket. Let's give it the benefit of the doubt. I'll go to 2.5 minutes. And there we go. Now since the thing is kind of down, since the node is sort of aiming down, I don't really want to do it that way. I want to go closer to the equator, and the horizon is what I meant, and then follow the node as it catches up to me. And for this, you can't just hit the period or the comma for time acceleration, but you can alt period for physics warp here. And we'll do a 5-minute burn in a little over a minute. I don't like to steer in time acceleration. It feels weird, but we can almost be on the node now. again. We're pretty close to being right on top of the node. So, and accelerate again. We should be able to just hold it here for the rest of the entire burn. Even though I figured out how to do this kind of thing, you know, without too much difficulty, I really still have a hell of a time hitting Moho. I have a very hard time hitting Moho. That's one of the things I should really practice. Okay, so I'm not going to time accelerate anymore while I finish up the last little bit of this burn. So that's what I thought. A little too long there. And then this burn is now weird. Why did it go funky like that on me? Okay. Alright, let's see, no, the other way. Let's slow it down a little bit. Okay, so it's a 17-second burn. That's not a bad adjustment. In 3 hours. Alright. Let's time accelerate over there. Okay. We're really far up, so we should be able to time accelerate quite well. God damn it, always. I'll make it. We're on a pretty flat trajectory in relationship to min-miss, so doing that burn 40 minutes late is not a huge deal, I don't think. We'll find out here in a minute. What's that looking like? Or below it, apparently. Too far out, okay. This is a 3-second burn according to this. This is embarrassing. I've never had this much trouble hitting min-miss. There it is. Alright. Alright, so let's bring this thing in to min-miss. Stop with the time acceleration. And let's bring it down almost to the ground. I land the same on min-miss as I land on the moon. I do a really low to the ground flyby and I just break sideways. Minimus is more mountainous than the moon, comparative to its size, so I have to be careful. But it'll be okay. Okay, there she is. Let's bring it in. Now, but seriously, guys, that was a sloppy intercept. Here we go. Still 100k away. Alright. So, I want to land on the light side, so I'm gonna brake, but not bring it down quite yet. Burn up a little bit so this doesn't drop. I still want to be fairly circular. Okay. 7 on one side, 15 on the other. Should allow me to time accelerate around to the light side. Of course, this is the part where there's a really high mountain and I don't see it and splat. I don't think there's anything that high though. You can land over there though. Or should I land over here in the... No, there's no salt flats on this side. Okay then. Alright, 4, let's put down those legs. And let's put this thing down. So yeah, tons and tons of fuel left over. Didn't really use much, even though I've been burning for like 7 or 8 minutes after I got in orbit. That's a weird effect. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. That should be on the ground. There we go. Okay. It's not exactly flat over there, is it? This is the part where I'm going to start using the spacebar to toggle this thing on and off. No, let's coast it over a little bit to a flatter part. Look over there. And burn straight up so I can float across the surface a little bit. I'll land over there. There we go. Okay. Make sure that it's set to surface. There's no bigger mistake than to come up with a final trajectory and then see that your thing is set to orbit. And let us bring this thing down. Do the same thing, but of course without it being a full throttle, just to make tiny little adjustments. Landing on Ike's kind of like this too. It has very little gravity. There's our shadow, and there's the light. Alright, it's looking good. Don't foresee any way to kill Jeb this time. By a mission of action. Swear if you tip over. Oh goodness. Go back, go back, go back now! Okay. Crisis averted, of course, unless it decides to tip the other way. It did that even with control wheels. Unbelievable. I guess this place wasn't as flat as I thought it was. You have to stop rocking back and forth. Okay, there we go. Alright, so that's a good place to cut this episode. Let's just do a quick field check before I do. That's in good shape. This is 100% full. That's of course the same as the other one, yeah. So yeah, looking good. I'm liking this. This is a lot of leftover fuel. We can do a lot of messing around with this. In the meantime, this is Raw reminding you guys to fly safe and see you guys soon.